Hello, welcome to the Spin 70 podcast. This is your host, Shalom Makowitz.
And your not host, Yehuda Makowitz.
Not exactly.
Did you get it?
I still got it. Just go. Okay, go ahead.
You just said he had some stuff he wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I also wanted to address something that you probably don't want me to address while recording, which is perfect because I love pissing you off.
Perfect. That's
great.
That's what brothers are for.
Yeah, I think the less scripted our podcast is, the more conversational it is, the better.
I agree. Why would that piss me off?
I don't know, because I'm saying it at the beginning of a podcast instead of before we start or something.
Creativity frees the mind. This is all about having genuine conversations.
Oh, dig it.
So, what's on your mind?
Oh, I don't know. A lot. I actually, one thing that really depresses me is when the calendar year changes.
Why?
Like always. I mean, it's like, oh man. Can you remember back when it was 2000? Like,
I remember when it was turning into when it was becoming 2000, the millennia.
Yeah,
the millennium or whatever.
Yeah.
And we ran to Walmart to get canned goods because everyone thought
we had
bottled
water, huge canteens of bottled water.
Everybody thought that it was going to be apocalyptic.
Yeah.
And we were just excited to be part of the chaos, but we didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah, but I mean, isn't it? I mean, for me, it's insanely crazy that it's 2020, and I don't know. One depressing thing is where did you imagine yourself being in 2020 or something?
I don't think I imagined myself doing anything, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, is this the right remote? Yeah, there it is. For me, I don't know. There are so many things. What?
Nothing.
Okay.
I think that was your computer.
No, it wasn't. My computer is not connected to my...
I silenced my computer before we started.
Well, hey, dude, my computer's off, and it hasn't been connected to my WhatsApp forever, so...
Oh, that was WhatsApp.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway, so for me, it's very frustrating because there are so many things that I would have hoped I would have been finished with. Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I would have hoped I would have been finished with by now. Like
what?
Well, for instance, I've been working on the same novel for 9 years.
Well, isn't that okay? First of all,
10 years.
Let's dial back for a second. You would have hoped that you would have been finished with what you were working on. If you were finished with what you were working on, I don't think you'd be a happy camper.
No, I have a lot of work. I have a lot of things to work on. It's just this thing has been dominating my mind.
The thing is that as I think when we're younger, we start to we think that it's about achieving accolades and progressing in a way where we're did that next, did that next, did that next. And as we get older, we start to realize that it's not about what we're accomplishing as much as it's about what we're maintaining about who we are in our lifestyles and what we enjoy doing.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, for me, I just want to finish what I started, and I don't know. I just assumed that by this point I would have finished that already. And that's annoying. And obviously every time the year changes, I redouble my efforts and figure out, okay, so Another year's gone by. How can I freaking finish this thing already?
Well, the thing is like, I think the first problem that you're making right there is that you're focusing on finishing it and not on the journey of what it is that you're doing. I mean, when you were younger, and you said you were writing a book for 10 years, like, first of all, look at the difference in your writing now as it was 10 years ago. Second of all, look at the life experience that you've endured that will enhance and changes everything about what you're writing.
Oh, totes. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, and this is something I think about constantly, and as you know, I'm suffering from writer's block right now, and it's driving me absolutely mad.
We're working through it.
We are, and the thing is that I'm writing regardless of my writer's block. It's just like, if I were to describe writer's block, it's like you're writing even though you don't want to, and everything that you write looks like crap. It's
well,
like,
that's a matter of opinion. Like, I'll give you an example.
I mean, it is, but it's just, no, to you, everything you write looks like crap. It's totally subjective.
Right.
It just
Well,
doesn't feel good. Usually, when I write, I feel amazing. I feel like I had accomplished something.
I think that has more to do with the inner work that you are lacking as opposed to your work itself. Like, I'll give you this for an example. I do video editing, right? According to everyone else who watches me do and watches me do it and watches me doing what I'm doing, they're like, "Oh, that's really good. That's amazing. How did you do that?" Right?
Yeah.
When I look at it, I'm like, "Really? That's nothing."
Yeah, no, I mean, it's your inner critic, and the thing is, my inner critic is very loud right now, and inner critic is very important, because if you don't have an inner critic, you never get better.
Okay, but here's a question: how do you? We're all gonna have an inner critic. An inner critic is great, but how do you affirm yourself? How do you give yourself the affirmation of you're doing it okay? There's ups and downs as usual. Stay the course. 1,000 points of light. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you personally think you need to do?
I need to
we're embarking on.
relax. That's what I need to do. I need to relax. I'm just so what it is, and I think it's a good problem to have. But what it is I'm spread really thin, as you know, and this is why I got a whiteboard on Thursday night, because I needed to schedule out
as per my
recommendation. I needed to schedule out my workload, because I've got all of these projects, and because I have all these projects, because I'm like spread so thin, I have to like prioritize, and the thing is, like, I don't want to prioritize, and by prioritizing it, I'm making the things that I'm putting under less priority less fun to work on.
Well, I also think a couple things. One is that, yes, you're absolutely right, but I also think it's something that you need to recognize that, like, a lot of people only have a few things that they enjoy doing, and it stresses them out that they have to do things that they don't enjoy doing in order to do the things that they enjoy doing. And
I know it's a huge first world problem that I've got so many things that I enjoy doing, I don't have the time to do them.
Right, and what the cool thing about the whiteboard is, and this is something I do as well, is that I have a whiteboard. I write down all the tasks for the day and whatever like little affirmations I have on it. Granted, mine's a little more organized than Yehuda's is, but he's just begun, so we're not gonna put him down on that.
Plus, organization is not my forte,
which is why it's gonna become your forte, because of this whiteboard.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
So I get this thing where I used to do this when I was younger, when I wanted to be a little more productive with my days, and then I stopped doing it because I was in auto mode. But ever since moving back to America and having to start over, I've had to go back and do the things that I was doing before in order to like reintegrate myself into society and into the newness of what's going on with my life.
You were like George of the Jungle.
Pretty much. Yeah, that's a great way to explain it. So
yeah.
So basically, what I do is I put on the most basic tasks all the way to the most important tasks, and I give myself the satisfaction and the affirmation of crossing them off as I finish them.
Do I look cross-eyed in that picture? I just can't.
No, you don't. Stupid.
I don't know.
But slight interruption there. But
that was our producer.
Yeah. but basically, it's the affirmations of crossing things off and recognizing how much you've actually done throughout the day, as opposed to doing what you've done, not making a count, not making a document. No, what's the word I'm looking for?
Schedule.
Not a schedule, but not like, you know how some people like, I was so busy, I did all these things today, and he's like, so what'd you do? And they're like, oh well,
They have to think about it.
yeah. So
Yeah.
this kind of shows you.
It puts it in concrete. Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes it explicit.
Yeah, it shows you what you've done, and when you look at what you've done, all you think about is what you haven't done and what you should be doing.
Okay.
And you make that same adjustment for the next day.
Okay, so actually, this is something I've been meaning to ask you because I don't know. I mean, yes, crossing out can be cathartic, but I don't know. It just doesn't really get me going. Personally.
Well, like, listen, it's a new habit. You know what I mean? And it's a habit I think the reason why it doesn't let you going is because it doesn't get you going is because it requires work and it requires consistency, and all good things require consistency. Most bad.
What do you need? Keys?
Most bad things require don't require any consistency at all. You do it once and that's it. It's a part of you. That's why it's considered to be a bad thing. Most good things require work, effort, patience, all incredibly important attributes that we all need to incorporate in our lives.
Work, effort. What was it? Work?
Well, I mean, this is just among many, but work, effort, consistency, determination, patience.
Yeah.
Every good thing that we do requires all of those attributes, and all of those attributes end up paying back in major dividends.
Okay, sure. How long do you think this podcast should be?
Why?
I'm just curious.
No, anywhere between 15 and 25 minutes, half hour.
What are we at?
11 minutes.
Just curious. Don't give me that look.
That's just a weird question.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm in a weird mood. Yeah, I guess I get that a little. I don't know. Yeah, sure.
Okay, he clearly wasn't listening and was more focused on how long we're doing this for, which is okay. Sometimes we all get sidetracked.
Wow, that's so understanding. It's unbelievable.
Thank you.
Yeah. How about you? What do you feel about the new year?
I feel good about the new year, to be honest. I spent many years just developing, spending a lot of time alone, and I feel like every year gears me up to a better understanding of who I am. I have different labels for every year depending on how I feel as I'm going into the year. And I maybe this is a little too vulnerable for me, but I have labeled this year as the comeback.
Okay. Yeah, that's nice.
2018 was magic. Magic meaning.
Wait, you have a theme for every year?
For the last 3 years, yeah, I have.
Okay, what are they?
Okay,
Yeah.
so 2018 was magic. I have to. It's on my phone, so I have to.
Can you explain that? I really want to
I'm gonna
understand.
explain it to you. Where's my phone though?
That's mine.
Where's mine?
I think it's over there. I would text you, but I know you just put it on silent.
It's here somewhere.
It's here somewhere.
Found it. Okay, cool.
Good, because I was about to serenade everybody.
That's definitely something no one wants to hear.
Yeah, sure it is.
Okay. So, yeah. Okay, 2018 was 2018
Was magic.
Magic. Basically, 2018 was when I realized that my life wasn't really going the way I wanted it to go. I didn't really have any answers. I didn't really know what to do, so I just started making small incremental changes.
2018 was the year I came to Israel?
No, you came in 2019.
No, I came 2018. We left 2019.
Oh, you're right. Okay, you came at the tail end of 2018.
No, I came at the tail end of. I came in the beginning of 2018. Came January 10th. Was when I got off the plane.
Okay, whatever. Fine.
Yeah, whatever.
So, 2018 was where I started. I named it 28.
Holy crap! Is it January 12th?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, time flies.
This time last year, we were 20 days from leaving Israel.
Yeah. we were very different people too.
Oh yeah.
So, which I like that aspect. So, okay, let me preface this.
And this day 2 years ago was my second day in Israel.
Yeah. Technically.
Yeah. And by the way, this day 2 years ago was when I found out that you started a podcast. A friend of mine just like messaged me out of the blue.
That's really funny. Okay, so let me preface this. I listened to a speech that Matthew McConaughey was giving. I think I've said this before, but he was giving this speech to a bunch of graduates, and he was saying how he chases people. Someone asked him, "Who's your hero?" and he didn't know how to answer the question. So he came back later, and the person asked him, "So did you find out who your hero was?" He's like, "Yeah, it's me in 10 years." And then, "Who's your hero after that?" "Oh, it's me in another 10 years." And then I took that, and I kind of understood what.
No, keep going.
Oh, okay, I took that, and
I just have something to add, which is why I leaned forward. But
so
keep going.
add it. Oh, okay, fine.
I'll add it when you finish.
So I took that, and I was like, okay, I need to make a change. I didn't really know what the change was. I was already interested in personal development, although it was not compartmentalized. It was very scattered, and I was very scatterbrained. And I decided to make like incremental changes in consistency and changing my lifestyle in the way that I want to treat myself, which I've always done, but as I mentioned before, it was not controlled or organized. So 2018, I named 2018 magic, as in I'm magically going to change things, and it's going to change my whole outlook on life, which it did.
Yeah.
I was still not in, I was still not
That's what we call a self-fulfilling prophecy. Isn't that great?
Yeah, it is.
I really, honestly, I've never known that about you, that you named your years, and I want to come up with one for myself.
Yeah, I didn't really know until now. I didn't really think that was such a big deal.
It's huge. Here's the problem. I'm going to be way too ambitious if I decided to name this year, and I'm going to let myself.
Well,
down.
there's one aspect to those to me naming those years that I'm very reluctant to share, but I guess I'll share it anyways.
Hey, listen, you can be vague if you want to.
Okay, so I have these. So the years have the reason why they're more organized is because it's connected to a YouTube playlist that I put things that help me get to where I want to go towards the end of the year.
Okay, before you get to that, I want to say my thing about your hero thing.
Okay.
So, Joe Rogan says a lot in his podcast in a variety of different ways. Be the person you want to be, but be that person all the time.
Yeah.
It's like saying, would the idealized version of myself do this? He says it in a pretty crass way. I don't know if I should say it that way.
I mean, what he does say in a not so crass way is that he says, "Be the hero of your own movie."
Yeah.
There's a lecture that I listen to, which I've been referencing a lot lately.
Be the hero of your own movie is a great way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. And you know what? The really cool thing about 2018 and even 2019, because they were kind of sort of years in conjunction for me, as I learned the significance of the hero's story intimately. So anyway, go on.
Yeah. So there's a lecture that I listened to where he said that
This is back to your YouTube playlist,
This is part of it, but I just want to say this about what you were saying. I was going
Sure.
to make a quick comment. Is that he mentions that people are always the directors and the producers of their own movies, and they write the script, they write everything, but they're more often than not the hero of the movie. They don't even give themselves a part. If they're really gregarious, as he says, they'll maybe give themselves a line or two, but they're not the heroes of the movie.
Wait. These are what? What does that mean? Like, I'm sorry. I just need
What
a
I'm
little
trying
context.
to say. What I'm trying to say is that, okay,
Like the writer of the story?
no. This is what I'm saying. You're like focusing on 100 different things. What I'm trying to say is this. I was talking about who's my hero. My hero is me in 10 years. And then we were talking about how Joe Rogan says that you should be your ideal self every day, which I think everyone potentially would agree with.
Yeah, it's just that we don't do it consciously.
So
like every once in a while we'll like look both ways before we do something.
So then there's this aspect of being the hero of your own movie, which is another Joe Rogan concept. So then I listened to this lecture where this guy says, a lot of people, they're the director, they're the producer, they're the writer, they're the screenwriter, everything, the costume designer for their own movie, but they don't put themselves in their movie. If they really feel so inclined, they'll give themselves a line or two, but they're not in their own movie.
So you mean like in your daily life, like you as your own... Imagine you're the screenwriter of your own... Let me just say it my way. Right? Okay, good. All right? Yeah, all right. Imagine you're the screenwriter of your own movie, and every day of your life is a scene in your movie, right? You are not going to take center stage ever.
That's correct.
That's what he's saying. Okay,
Yeah.
I was just trying to figure it out.
Okay, because I think it made sense.
I'm sure it did. I just didn't understand.
Anyhow,
Because I'm a stupid.
So that's the idea. So 2018 was magic. Magic meaning I'm gonna make a change and it's gonna be magical, and it was. I wouldn't say that I was at my best health-wise, but it was. 2019 was, I named taking control! Exclamation point. I'm not gonna scream it. But
Taking control.
Taking control, meaning
I think that would be a really good like heavy metal song.
Meaning the struggle was to have control of my environment, have control of the decisions that I want to make. It was a very, very, very hard year. It was an incredibly tough year, and it's over. But it was a hard year. It was a very growth experience year. There were some good times. There were a little more bad times. But that's the whole concept of taking control.
You know the funny thing is, you probably said to me like 50 times last year, you're like, the theme for this year for me is taking control. I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm like, I didn't realize what the hell you were saying.
So this year is the comeback, because I have moved back home into a new country, new experience, new everything, and I've had to take the time from the year of taking control to reevaluate my goals and reevaluate what I want to be doing and try to make the right decisions. And it's the comeback. It's the comeback year for me.
Oh, nice. Okay, so let's brainstorm for me. What the hell kind of year do I want?
That's up to you, man. You have to go on a spirit walk.
Oh, damn. I hate going on a spirit walk.
That's why you need to go on one.
Yeah. Okay, what are we at time-wise?
21 minutes.
Do you want to continue?
Well, we have to close it out somehow.
Well, isn't this good enough?
Okay, this is good enough. This guy's he's special today.
Whatever. I think we talked this subject to death.
Yeah, in any sense. Okay, fine. I'll close it out. Be the hero of your movie. Don't make big changes. Find something that helps you make the necessary changes. If that means getting a whiteboard like my brother and myself and writing down everything that you need to do and positive affirmations to help you get through the day, do that. If that means doing your laundry and folding your clothes, do that. If that means naming every year as a theme for who you want to be and how you want to develop who you are, do that. There is no such thing as the right or wrong thing to do. It's all up to you. And if you're the hero of your own movie, whatever it is you do is going to be the right thing.
Yeah, and here's
no matter what other people think.
Sorry. And here's something you should definitely not do. Don't say, it's already 12 days in the year, it's too late. I'll save it for next year.
Yeah, well, we're obviously either trying to inspire people who think that way, or we're not talking to people who think that way.
Right, yeah. And in the great words, I want to say Nickelback, but you probably know better than me. I don't even think it is Nickelback.
You better tread carefully. No one likes Nickelback, apparently.
It's not too late. It's never too late.
It's not too late. It's never too late.
Who is that?
Even if I don't know. I think that's.
It's not Nickelback.
Hinder.
I don't know.
Hoopstank.
Hoobastank.
Even if
what a
I
terrible
say
name for a band, by the way.
It'll be all right. I think that's Hinder. Is Hinder the name of a band? I don't know.
You could always just look it up, right?
I am, yeah.
It's so funny. Like, I could have looked it up while you were on your monologue.
Even if I say it'll be all right. 3 Days Grace.
3 Days Grace. I didn't even know that was the name of a band.
It's not too late. No, are you serious? Never too late?
Yeah.
Or Riot. Let's start a riot.
Yeah, I don't really like most of that music. I gotta be honest. Like, Those, the slow ballads I kind of like, but like, that's not my thing.
Well, that's like workout music,
Yeah, it's not for me.
or like juvenile delinquent music.
Yeah, is that 90s or 2000s?
I think it's 90s.
Yeah, 90s is a weird time.
Maybe late 90s.
Yeah, 2000s were weird too, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that'll be the subject
All right,
of our
this is gonna
next
close it.
podcast.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
Okay.
We're going to close it out. Peace.
Peace.